Time is a commodity that most families do not enjoy. When was the last time that this family had a family vacation? And where are the savings for their children's education? Their rainy day fund. And then there's that four-letter word, debt. Once we were all optimistic. We had dreams that one day we would do something great, contribute somehow, and make a difference in the world. Even if you enjoy what you do, you have probably found yourself trapped inside this cycle of stress. Hour after hour, you trade your time for money. Too many people today find themselves in a dead-end job, barely able to make ends meet, and unable to save for the future. Sound like you? Well, Isagenix is a company that is changing that for people just like you all around the world.
And catch this, last week I pulled out my old college clothes and they actually fit.
Well, come on, what are you doing?
Isagenix. It's nutritional cleansing that rids the body of impurities without any of those drugs or fad diets that don't work. Believe me.
The secret to real wealth is owning your own business. Ideally, a home-based business without a lot of upfront investment, no employees to hire and manage, and no extra time invested in the day-to-day burden of running a business. When choosing a home-based business that affords you an opportunity for long-term success, consider the advice of economist and presidential advisor Paul Zane Pilzer, who calls the wellness revolution the next trillion-dollar industry, where entrepreneurs like you can make their fortunes. Look around you. Would you agree we live in a toxic world, surrounded by impurities in our air, our water, even in the food we consume? That there's a need to give people an answer. Would you agree that people everywhere and of all ages are battling their weight and looking for an answer? Would you agree that people everywhere are finding it more difficult to make ends meet, provide for their families, and save for retirement, and are looking for an answer? Well, Isagenix is the answer.
And now I'm proud to say we have almost 8,000 people and growing. Isagenix by far has been the best investment we've ever made and will continue to be. So we look at the next 3 years and we're looking for a quantum leap. We believe that Isagenix is now just rubbing the surface, but the company has now been given a title of recognition as the world leader in nutritional cleansing. So Isagenix fits so beautifully. It's a product that I believe everyone needs and wants. They just need to know about it. And within the next 3 to 5 years, Isagenix will be a household name, and the people, as they participate with us, will be rewarded immensely. And with Isagenix, we've developed an income that we do it by choice. We do it with pleasure. And as my good friend Jimmy Smith from Pennsylvania says, when your vocation becomes your vacation, there's no such thing as hard work. So we're proud to say we don't have to work hard anymore. We really work out of passion to help others.
What makes Isagenix special is that it delivers in so many different areas. You might have something that might work in one field or another field. We talk about health, physical health. We talk about overall wellness, which goes beyond just physical health. It goes into, a person's emotional attitude, their stress levels, their overall well-being, and then it ties into a person's wealth as well. And what is someone doing? Are they trading time for money, or do they have the ability to work themselves out of a system where they're just going to constantly, perpetually be caught in a sort of a rut because they're trading time for money? So what Isagenix does is it gives people the ability to have time freedom as well.
This millionaire from our industry walks into his accountant's office, and the accountant says, "Oh my gosh, you make more in a month than I make in a year. What do you do?" So the millionaire told him a little bit about what he does for a living. And he says, "Oh yeah, I've been to one of those meetings before. I know what you guys do." And the millionaire says, "Oh, so you've seen this before. You know what it's all about. What do you think?" And the accountant says, "I didn't believe a word of it." And the millionaire says, "I did." So this business gets better. The worse the recession gets, the better our business gets. And I read an article of why this type of industry is the best industry in the world. And it's basically a business that has no boss, no employees, no commute, no traffic jam, no overhead, no stock, no employees, very minimal customer service, no shipping, no handling of product, no creating product, no handling of cash, with an unlimited income, with no cost barrier to entry like a dentist or a doctor or a chiropractor or a lawyer, no education barrier to entry like those professions I just named, and unlimited income with no territories and no geographic boundaries. So for me, I have to get myself in check every once in a while, make sure we're still in a recession.
One of the biggest threats to our health is our own environment. Some toxins are easy to spot. However, most are either invisible or undetectable to the average person.
We have poisoned our water, we have poisoned our air, we are poisoning our foods, and we're doing that to allow industry to advance. But in the process, we're introducing hundreds and hundreds of pollutants into our bodies.
In particular, I worry about pesticides, herbicides on the fruit and vegetables you eat. And on the animal side, very concerned about growth hormone, steroids, antibiotics being injected into the food supply.
Prescription drugs that are now showing up in the water supplies, about arsenic that's showing up in the water supplies, heavy metals.
We have sterilized our topsoil. The pesticides not only kill the living organisms that come to attack the farmer's produce, but it also hits the topsoil and it kills all the living microorganisms and bacteria that convert an inorganic rock mineral into an organic form for it to be absorbed and uptaken by the plant.
For us to assume that just because we have a plethora of food that we're not undernourished is really wrong, because our food, unfortunately, is undernourished.
Our nutritionally bankrupt food, combined with toxicity, is wreaking havoc on our mental and physical health. When our health is compromised, we lack the energy needed to perform the daily functions of life. It can put a strain on our finances and ultimately the relationships we cherish most. These factors can make us more susceptible to disease, depriving us of the kind of life we deserve.
The biggest problem I see with toxicity is body inflammation. You get a massive body inflammatory response, and that creates a lot of problems.
A recent study by the Centers for Disease Control revealed the presence of 116 toxic chemicals in people of all ages. The CDC also reported that we're spending over $75 billion a year on weight-related diseases.
Obesity today is a major problem.
We're putting all kinds of garbage in our bodies, and our bodies are then accumulating fat to try to protect us.
If you think obesity is only a problem in adults, think again.
Obesity is a huge and growing problem in children. We are producing obese children. That's horrible.
This is going to be the first generation of children that will not outlive their parents.
Hundreds of thousands of deaths per year are linked to obesity. In addition to an unhealthy diet and lack of exercise, many scientists now believe that toxic overload is contributing to weight gain and obesity.
All of these things are adding up and suddenly there's a health problem. So what can we do about it?
While no one product can single-handedly remedy all of our problems, it's imperative that we get serious about improving and supporting our health through nutritional cleansing.